Peace be upon you. Today we're going to talk about the most important tools. These are the tools I use in 3D Max, especially when dealing with client revisions and also when working with engineers. I assign them specific tasks so they can complete them and get things done when the workload piles up. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you get all the latest updates, God willing, on the engineering channel, the job market, and also follow us on the rest of the platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and the other platforms. Alright, for example, right now we have this project here, which is an architectural design and facade. We want to take a screenshot of the current viewport and send it to the client so they can keep up with us on the latest stages we've completed in the design so that we don't reach a certain stage without their input. And we repeat this in the other stages we've completed. There is a very small script, which is a tool we use to accomplish this task. This is the tool, one of the very simple tools, that I will use for taking screenshots directly inside Max. Let's drag it in and try it out. As soon as we drag it into 3D Max, this simple little window immediately appears for us. It has three specific functions. The first one is Capture Snap. If we click on it, it takes a specific snapshot of the viewport we're currently using, whether it's this viewport or, for example, if we're on another camera, like camera number 3 or this viewport, it captures the viewport, the exact one that we're working on, so that we can obtain the full view of the interface with absolute clarity. We add it to our background, of course. For example, for this exact situation, and we want to show the viewer the block, for instance. Then we select the block and tell the tool to process it. Capture Snap. Of course, this part will appear for us as we can see. And if we want to save it, we simply go here and save it anywhere. For example, name it Snap 1 or any image. For example, we want JPG, and we save it on the desktop since we're just testing. Let's try the second button, which is Capture Snap and Edit. Let's do it with one of these cameras, for example, this one. If I want to specify something particular for the client and tell him about this part, for example, its material could be glass, or its material could be wood, or its material could be metal, or whatever it is, or whatever. Or in the case, for example, that we're working with another engineer and sending him some modifications to implement in 3D Max, of course, we use the Windows Snap feature itself, but the Windows Snap feature is limited to the tasks it's designed for. But now we're going to use this tool in the Gesab program and see. Together, let's talk about Router Snap and Edit. Basically, this tool takes a screenshot of the video. You take a screenshot of the entire viewboard and open it in Paint on Windows. Alright, now we want to input the specific measurements for this section, and this section. Okay, and we want to specify the dimensions here, for example, by writing them in Arabic, English, or whatever language. Should we carefully evaluate and analyze the specific color of the font and the exact positioning of the text, and then provide instructions for it to change the material? This part. Whether you are applying this to iron or wood or absolutely whatever other material you might want to use. Okay, let us just say for a moment that you want to add any specific object down here in this area. For example, you could bring the arrow shape over here and then write a simple, helpful note right next to it. For example, you can change the text here. Of course, it's much smoother to work with Paint than with Windows' own snipping tool. Paint allows you to select, color, draw lines, add shapes, and at the same time, you can also place text in specific locations as you or others want. There's a sleek, modern car parked right here in this specific residential area. That looks quite nice, or something very similar to that. Okay, now let's go ahead and add something right here in this specific section because we want to make sure it is complete. First, we should start by removing this specific column from our current layout. Next, we will move it down to the very bottom section of the frame because we have an egg that needs to be placed there. We are re-adding the column in this way to ensure the final result is much clearer for the viewer. And we philosophized a bit. The note's on the interface, and we simply go to File, Save as JPEG or PNG. It doesn't matter which you choose, but we'll pick JPEG. It will show you the path where you want to save it. and it will give you an automatic name here. You can change the name as you like, save it, and then take the image and share it anywhere you want. You'll find it here. You'll find the image saved in the location, and you can adjust it, edit the column, change the store, and everything else. This is basically what this tool does. There's a very important part. I use it in cases where, after I've finished the entire interface, there's something called it. Let's take a look at it together now. For example, we took this part of the interface, we removed this, and this, and this. Let's try it out now. In the name of God. Please take a moment to notice that from the A, it effectively masks out the specific part you select in your design. Whether it's interior or exterior design, of course, the mask works. You take this mask into Photoshop if you're doing post-production. For example, if you want to change the material of a specific part, adjust the lighting in a certain area, or change the sky in the background, and so on for all the elements you have in the 3D Max scene. And of course, you can save it. In the same way here, for example, the mask. And everything is fine. We have it all. There are three very important functions. First, capture and edit. This is capture snap. This is if you want to send a design to a client in case they want to follow the stages of their design. Second, capture, snap, and edit. It opens in Paint, and you can edit it in Paint and make notes so you can send them either to a client or an employee in the office. And the last thing is render mask. If there's something I want to remove from the design and I didn't know how to select it after I finished the render, or if I want to change the sky or change the situation in the design after rendering, you use render mask. For that part, then you put it in Photoshop and it becomes very easy to edit. And that was an explanation of the tool we just used, which is Snap Edit Mask. You'll find it in the video description on YouTube or in the first comment on the other platforms. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you get all the latest updates from the engineering channel, work issues, and follow us on the rest of the platforms on Facebook and Instagram.